Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about top 5 soft skills that you need to master to succeed in any job. I've always mentioned, remember that it's not just important to be good in your craft. I've known so many people, even if you graduate from a premium college, a lot of people have come to me and said that, Ashok, I have been working so hard. I'm so intelligent, so smart. I'm able to give a great output, but I'm still not growing in my organization. What could that be? Well, my dear friends, the reason is soft skills. Have you ever asked people around you how do they feel the way you interact with them? How are you able to convince people to your ideas? These are fundamental issues that most people ignore, and even if they're aware, they don't know what to do and where to go. Well, today I want to solve this problem. So, my dear friends, just listen to this video fully. This is not from any book, this is my own experience managing hundreds and thousands of people in four different countries. So, across culture as well, whatever skills I'm going to share is going to help you. Let's get started. So, what is soft skills? Soft skills is nothing but the things that you as a person can exhibit apart from your job specific knowledge. Say, for example, you are an engineer and you start in an organization as a graduate engineer, or you're an experienced manager, you're managing a department or organization. You are probably very knowledgeable in terms of the engineering skills. You know how to get the output for an engineering problem done very well. But at the same time, are you able to address the actions that you've come out to an audience? Are you able to get the message across to them? That is what is called a soft skill. Now, why is this a big challenge these days? I think most of us, when we are in our school or college, the education system also doesn't help you a lot to learn things apart from what is taught in the college or in the school. Now, these days, I'm seeing more and more colleges are helping students to improve in their soft skills, be it communication skills, be it presentation skills, be it approaching companies for internships, etc. This is all starting, but not all students are involved. So I would suggest that you all really become involved. सिर्फ पढ़ाई करने से आपको result नहीं आएगा. You have to get into understanding what organizations want and how does things structure. Now, why has it become so important these days? See, the thing is, olden days was more of like a manufacturing setup. India was also a bit of a manufacturing setup. We were slowly becoming capitalists in the last 20 years or so. So when you start working in an organization before, you were just kind of product mass producing things, working in factories. You didn't probably have to interact a lot with people. Even consumers or customers didn't expect a lot of interaction. They used to come buy a product and just go away paying you the price. But things have changed. Today, even a normal technical person at a ground level, when he goes to do, for example, you take an AMC of an air condition, the maintenance technician who comes to fix your aircon at home, you ask him questions, what is the problem? What are you going to do? You expect that he comes in a very nice way, presents himself really well. So this is why the things are changing. Customers are expecting more, and hence companies are also expecting that you know how to get all these things done as well. So you need to learn all of things during your college and school time. Don't just later on complain that, oh, I'm not getting promoted, I'm not getting a proper job. Even presenting yourself an interview is part of the soft skill. I want to share with all of you 5 soft skills which is not so commonly spoken about. There are certain common soft skills like communication skills, presentation skills. I have already made videos on that, so please go and check out my YouTube channel on improving your presentation skills, executive presence, and communication skills. But today, I'm going to talk about another set of important soft skills. So, the first one is political skills. Now, you must be wondering, why am I talking about politics? No, this is not about standing for election, winning an election and stuff. Or it is not that I'm telling you have to be a political person. The most important thing I'm talking about from a political skills perspective is for you to understand the organizational politics. In every company, you have to understand that there is certain people who will behave in a certain way. There'll be certain leader or a certain manager who has a very biased way of approaching. He or she will have a preset mindset. I only want this kind of people. I only want people from this particular region. So there will be biases in companies. You cannot run away from that. But you have to understand that this exists. How do you find out? You have to talk to people around in the organization, water cooler conversations, and try to understand who are the key influencers in the company, what is their thought process, what is their experience, what is their background, how do they think. Based on that, you need to understand the politics in the organization, and you need to know how to maneuver this politics. For example, if you are doing a presentation in a meeting where there are 5 different people, maybe there is one or two people there who may not like the idea that you have, or they may not like the boss who you work for. So whatever you say, they will just say no. You need to understand this dynamics and make sure that those people as well, you're getting them on your side. Second point is convincing skills. When you start working in an organization, you have to get people to agree to your idea. There's no point in just you having amazing thousands of ideas, but you just don't know how to get people to agree to your ideas. So you need to be able to work not only within your team, but work across teams as well. And how do you do that? Convincing skills is about the ability to present the information in the way the audience likes it as well. So if you're presenting to one person, and if that person is a very data-driven person, then you have to prepare data and go to them. They may like to go into details, so you have to go with a lot of details. Whereas the other way around, if you're presenting to top management, they may like an executive summary in the beginning. So for them, you got to start with the high-level information first, give them what is the final output they can expect, give them the idea, then you go into details if they want to go into details. So this is what is called convincing skills. The third one is understanding the cultural quotient. Like I spoke about organizational politics, there is also organizational culture. You need to understand what type of culture this company has. Is it an innovative culture? Is it a top-down culture where the boss says and everybody follows? Or is it a bottom-up culture where there is a lot of ideas being expected from the people even the below ranks? So understanding the culture you will get by, again, talking to people around you, asking them what are the unsaid rules in this organization, who decides what, who are the people who will be grooming the organization in a certain way, what is their thought process. It is a bit similar to political skills, but the difference is understanding the overall organizational culture. This is not just about 3 or 4 people who may play politics, but the culture that is underlying in the organization. Organization culture has various cultures, right? There is a global culture. If it's a global organization, then there will be a country specific culture, then there will be a department structure, and even your team may have a particular culture. Your boss may say that everything has to go through me and only then I will agree. So this is about understanding the culture, and then once you know the culture, accordingly you should maneuver your moves so that you're not upsetting people around you. So it's all about relationship management. The next one is sales skills. I've also made a video on how to develop your sales skills. So please do watch that. But when I talk about sales skills, end of the day, remember, you don't have to be in a sales job. Everybody is a salesman. Even presenting your idea and getting someone to agree is a sales skill. So you need to think about how can you develop your sales skills. The simplest way is asking questions first before you're presenting anything to understand what is that this particular person really wants out of my information. It could be you're trying to sell your idea, your product, you're speaking to a customer. So for everywhere, it's about understanding first, asking right questions. Once you do that, then you speak out. Don't just go to a meeting and just start blabbering. Ask them what is that you expect in the end of this meeting? What are your 2 or 3 key takeaways that you would like? Then you can accordingly put your presentation in the right way. They say in sales, features tell, benefits sell, which means features tell about the product or service and the benefits will sell the product or service. So you need to present the features of your idea and then the benefits of your idea. Through this, you will be able to convince the audience of what you're trying to sell. So very important for you to hone your sales skills. There's a whole lot of information online. I have also put a video on how to improve your sales skills. So please do watch that, and that will help you a lot. The last and final one is tactical communication. What is tactical communication? The tactical communication is nothing but how do you convince your idea in a tactical way? You must be wondering, is there a lot of overlapping with some of the things I mentioned before? No, there is a difference. And what I mean by tactical communication is, so let us say, for example, you are again communicating to a group of people. What I normally suggest is you try to have a meeting before the meeting. Before you go and present it to a group of people, individually try and speak to those people. Tell them about your presentation or your idea or your message. See if it's aligned with them. Make sure that you have ironed out all the differences before you go and do that big presentation that you're going to do. You try this method, then you go and present, 99.9% your idea will flow through. That is called tactical communication. It is about really understanding the pulse of each person and accordingly maneuver your presentation to the audience and they will buy in. So pretty much if you think about it, all the 5 things that I mentioned somewhere relates to some form of communication or understanding communication or relationship management. So the overarching skill is relationship management. Are you taught this well in school and college? Are you honing these skills when you're a child growing up? You would know that. If you don't, do this. Practice a lot of these things. It is not so difficult. You get this more by experience, by the way, not by attending a training program. That is why I always recommend that even when you're studying or if you're in a college, try and do some side hustling. Involve working with people. End of the day, you have to work with people to convince them of anything. So I hope these 5 different soft skills will help you achieve your success that you aim for in your life. Thank you so much for listening to me. Till I see you in the next video, stay fit, stay positive, keep chasing obscene success.